You clicked the title, maybe you laughed, maybe you were curious, maybe you were even offended, but here you are, and I want you to stay with me because we're going somewhere most people never go. We're talking about the kind of boldness, confidence, energy, and conviction that changes lives, yours included. That title, it's not about a person, it's not about anatomy, it's not even really about size. It's about power, it's about presence, it's about stepping into a version of yourself that refuses to shrink. And let me tell you something about the world we live in right now. It doesn't reward playing it safe. It doesn't reward silence. It doesn't reward polite, watered-down dreams. This world rewards energy, big energy, loud energy, conviction, the kind that walks into a room and doesn't need to say a word because it's already felt. That's what we're talking about when we say the world's largest penis. We're talking about a level of energy that's so powerful, it shifts everything around it. It makes people look twice. It makes people stop and say, "Who is that? You know what's wild?" Most people never experience that, not because they're not capable of it, but because they've spent their entire lives believing they're not worthy of it. They shrink to make others feel comfortable. They dim their light to avoid standing out. They hold their tongue. They say yes when they mean no. They settle. They stay quiet when everything in their body is screaming to speak up. And why? Because somewhere along the way, they were taught that power is dangerous. That confidence is arrogance. That standing tall means you'll be cut down. That being bold makes you too much. But let me tell you the truth. That's all nonsense. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not ego. It's not entitlement. It's alignment. When you are confident, you are simply aligned with the truth of who you are. You stop seeking external validation. You stop asking for permission. You stop begging for scraps. You sit at your own table, and if it doesn't exist yet, you build it from scratch. You look in the mirror and say, "I don't need to become someone else. I just need to become more of me." Think about the times in your life when you felt truly unstoppable. It wasn't when everything was perfect. It wasn't when you had every answer. It was when you decided to move anyway, when you acted despite fear, when you raised your hand before you were ready, when you took the leap without the guarantee. That's where power lives, not in perfection, but in motion, not in waiting, but in doing, not in shrinking, but in expanding. So let's go back to that medal for the world's largest penis. That's not something you're born with. That's not a lottery you win. That's not something measured in inches or stats. That's a mindset. That's a decision. That's the kind of energy you step into when you say, "I refuse to live one more day apologizing for who I am." That's what it means. It means walking through the world like you belong in every room you enter. It means showing up fully, even when you feel scared. It means carrying yourself with the audacity of someone who has already succeeded, even if the world hasn't caught up yet. And here's the part no one talks about. Confidence isn't loud. It isn't brash. It isn't always the person shouting in the front of the room. Real confidence is quiet. It's calm. It's rooted. It's the person who doesn't have to explain themselves. The person who can say no without giving a reason. The person who knows their worth, so they don't chase what isn't aligned. Confidence is the energy of, "I know who I am. I know what I bring. And I'm not afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't see it." But you can't fake it. You can fake charm, you can fake a smile, but confidence, real magnetic confidence, that only comes from doing the work, showing up for yourself, keeping your promises to yourself, speaking your truth, setting boundaries, failing, and then standing back up without shame. That's how it's built, decision by decision, moment by moment, breath by breath. There are people out there right now with half your talent living the life you want. Why? Not because they are better, but because they were bolder. They made the call. They took the chance. They bet on themselves. They decided their voice mattered. Their ideas mattered. Their energy mattered. And they moved before they felt ready. That's what changes everything. Not luck, not magic, not even motivation. Just one radical, terrifying decision to stop waiting and start moving. You think the person with the biggest energy never feels fear. Think again. They feel it all the time, but they don't let fear be the driver. They feel it, acknowledge it, and move anyway. They've learned to trust themselves, to show up even when it's messy, to own their mistakes, to keep going. Confidence doesn't mean you're never uncertain. It means you're willing to take action anyway. That's what separates the bold from the bitter, the ones who lead from the ones who stay stuck. So yeah, let them laugh at the title, let them get uncomfortable, let them question what it means. That's good, that means it's working, that means it's shaking something loose, because this isn't about being polite. This is about waking people up, waking you up to the fact that your power has been sleeping. Your potential has been on mute, and it's time to turn the volume all the way up. This is your life, one shot. One chance. You don't get to come back and do it again. So what the hell are you waiting for? Permission, approval, a guarantee? You'll never get any of those. You get now. You get this moment. You get to decide who you're going to be. And if you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll waste your entire life standing at the starting line. Don't do that. Don't rob the world of the boldest version of you. Don't die with your greatness still inside you. Be the one who chose courage over comfort, who stood tall when it was easier to hide, who spoke truth even when it shook your voice, who moved mountains not because you were fearless, but because you finally realized fear doesn't get to run your life anymore. That's who the world's largest penis belongs to, the one who dared, the one who acted, the one who took up space unapologetically, the one who said, "I'm done playing small." That's not ego, that's power. That's energy, and it's yours if you're ready to claim it. Now stop waiting. Get out there and act like it. You've got this.